I think it would be very easy to let this happen and blame Mexico, blame Mexicans, revert back to bad rhetoric, revert back to bad stereotypes. That's the easy thing to do, but that requires zero thought, and it really is just incorrect.
It's against anything we
It's against exactly everything that we stand for. Good afternoon, amigos, from La Ciudad de Mexico. We are sitting down in our apartment, so you know this video is a tad bit more serious than our typical videos. Two things. One, just want to go ahead and get out of the way. Yes, my phone is pickpocketed. Obviously, you can tell that by the title. And two, you may hear some background noise because we live right on a very, very busy street and the pharmacies tend to blast.
That's right. It's the pharmacy. It's the music from the pharmacies.
It's strange, but before we get started, if you think this video is going to validate your beliefs in thinking Mexico is dangerous or a place that you shouldn't visit, this is not the channel or not the video for you. It's definitely not going to do that. And we love, Hillary and I both love Mexico so very much. We loved it before this incident happened, and a few weeks later, we love it even more so. So we just want to talk a little bit about what happened, how we felt, how we've kind of adjusted since then, and our final takeaways since the incident.
Okay, so I think it was either our second night or third night here, and we were at the Palacio de Bellas Artes, and we were watching the light show, and it was a beautiful light show, and we started walking home, and someone brushed the back of Greg's head and said something along the lines of, "Hey man, you have something on your head." And I looked and I saw like what looked like a spit wad. I don't know if it was water or some sort of spit. I think that is the moment that the phone was taken out of Greg's front pocket, and immediately Greg and I have been warned. We have read plenty of articles. We read that this is a problem in Mexico City and any big city across the world. So instantly, before I even looked at his head, we both checked our pockets, and he made sure he had his wallet and his camera. And on we went. We thought, okay, they didn't get us. We immediately reached for our pockets.
I was worried about my wallet, so I was like, as soon as it happened, I knew it was a pickpocket scam.
Yes.
I knew it was a scam. I immediately reached for my wallet, but apparently immediately was not as fast as I thought.
Right.
And yeah, we went on for 30 minutes thinking I've got my wallet, got the keys, got everything.
A spit wad in the ear.
Yeah.
And then 30 minutes later, he said, I don't have my phone.
I do want to say before we get too much further, you might be wondering, if this happened so long ago, why are you just now making this video? And that's a very great point. We didn't want to make the video immediately. One, we wanted to kind of reflect on what happened, how we felt, and two, we wanted to see what the rest of our experiences were like in Mexico City. We wanted to see if it would happen again. It has not, and we wanted to implement a few strategies, which we'll fill you in on here in a few minutes, about how to avoid getting pickpocketed. And so far, fingers crossed, it has worked for us. It's not to say that it can't happen to us again in the future, but that is the reason that we delayed this publishing. And I feel guilty because I know that maybe we could have potentially prevented other people from having pickpocket incidents, so I do feel like some responsibility for that. But I think for me, it was one, important to collect my thoughts over a few days, and two, I think the thought collecting process was kind of going into seeing if we felt seeing if we got robbed again, basically over the next few days, would kind of change our perception, change our thoughts. So that's the reason that we didn't. So I guess tell us a little bit about how we initially felt when it happened.
So I think right after it happened, we immediately came home. It was body to body on Madero Street. If you've ever been to Mexico City, you know how busy that street, that pedestrian street, can get. It was body to body. So the walk home, I feel like I felt violated for Greg. I felt sad, mad, scared. I think the thought of someone having their hand in Greg's pocket with us having absolutely no idea. It was his front pocket. I was standing on the same side. I think more than anything, I felt scared. Like, welcome to Mexico City. This is how the next month is going to go. Yeah. So we got home. I feel like we were frantic. We didn't want to tell our parents because I knew that they would all be so worried, and they were, you know, changed passwords, canceled, got all the logistics out of the way, canceled our cell phone, put an extra passcode on it, all sorts of logistics. But I think that night and even the next day, it was like, what happened? I can't believe that happened to us. Will we feel safe going outside again?
For me, Hillary might have been a little bit more mad or scared than I was. I am glad that it happened to me and not to her. I feel like it would have been more traumatic, if you will, or would have affected her more. But I think it happening to me was somewhat of a blessing in disguise. But I think it was obviously frustrating to have something taken, but at the same time, I tried my best, and I feel like I did a decent job of trying to remember it's just a phone. It's nothing that can't be replaced. It's luckily we are fortunate enough to be able to afford a new phone. It's not like we can't afford another one.
It was non-violent, which I feel like is the biggest blessing in disguise. I think that it would have been a lot longer lasting had we been robbed violently, so to speak. I think for having something taken, this is the best way. We literally didn't even know. Right,
exactly. And I didn't think about this until actually yesterday, which is another reason why we made this video today. It's so late. Sometimes my thinking is a little slow. But I think it's another reason to have less, do more, be more, and especially in the have less department, in that to not be attached to physical objects, because they're gonna break, they're gonna get stolen, they're gonna stop working, a new model's gonna come out, and then you're not gonna care about it anymore, or something like that is gonna happen. So I think somewhat of trying to practice what we preach, if you will, practice what we put in our intro video of having less and just realizing it's just a phone, it's nothing big, and nothing happened to Hillary. And so it was frustrating, but at the same time, I think we try to put things into perspectives, like everything's okay. And I haven't got a new phone since then, so
I feel like it's been fine.
It's been fine. It's actually been, I've been on social media a lot less, which I don't know if you've noticed. I feel like I've tweeted less, Instagrammed less, all that. So it's kind of affected like maybe kinetic cannons a little bit in a weird way, but in the end, it's probably been a good thing. Now, tell us a few of the ways that we have avoided pickpockets since then, because that's probably the most useful piece of information for people watching this.
Sure. So first of all, I don't ever carry anything. I realize that my stature is that I'm an easy target. I have blonde hair. I'm pretty small.
5'2", 110 pounds.
Yeah, 5'2" on a good day. 110 pounds also on a good day. So I don't carry anything in my hands. That said, sometimes I'll keep my phone in my pocket with my hand inside my pocket the entire time.
So basically what we decided is, or what we kind of read up on, is you just need to make it a little bit harder. So when it was taken out of my pocket, I was wearing shorts, which you guys had told me not to wear shorts here in Mexico City already, but it wasn't cold that day.
That was probably the first and last day.
That was probably the first and last day. I wore shorts, and the shorts had big pockets, and I had too much stuff in the pockets. The stuff I thought it was safe in the front pocket, obviously not. So step number one, do not wear shorts with pockets that are easy to get into.
Pockets.
If you're wearing shorts, make sure that maybe they either have a zipper on them, or that it's somewhat hard for someone to reach their hand in there. Maybe they're a little bit more front-facing than side-facing like mine were. Since then, I've been wearing jeans, which are more front-facing pockets. We have this camera case that I put on my belt loop that sometimes I'll put, sometimes there's absolutely nothing in here. Sometimes I have the camera in here, and I always have the zipper, like it's like this on my belt, so the zipper is close, so someone has to get like all up in my space to try and unzip this, and it's really hard to open. So it's something could be taken out of here, but
yeah. I think that the sheer volume of people, especially in this area, make it super easy. Down at the metro, it's body to body. Where we were, it's body to body. I don't think the pickpocketers in this area in particular are looking for a hard chase.
No.
They're looking for open pockets, distracted people,
yeah.
people who look like they don't belong. And unfortunately, that happened to be us that day.
Yeah, we're always going to look like we don't belong, no matter how good our Spanish gets. I guess we'd have to get a very good tan. But trick number two, let me grab something. Trick number two, I think works okay. So if you've got a sweatshirt or just an extra shirt, let's see if I can do this here. Okay, I'm gonna back.
It's turning into a model session.
Okay, I don't know if this is in frame or not. I think so. So put this. So let's say you have something in your left pocket. Put all your goods in your left pocket, and then wrap this around, nice and stylish.
This kind of works works out anyways because we kind of have to layer here. It's like 30 in the morning, 35 in the morning.
And then when you need something, you can lift it up. So again, someone can get to it, but they're going to have to kind of, it just makes it a little bit harder for them. And
it's not as easy.
I think that's all you have to do is make it a little harder. Sometimes I'll wear like 2 or 3 pairs of shorts, and there's no telling which pocket this stuff might be in. So again, you'd have to reach underneath my belt, all up in there. So same thing with the backpack. Anytime we have the backpack, we either put it on our chest or we have it on our back, and we've got it all booby trapped up. And unfortunately, you know, that's just the reality of living here, is that you do have to take some of these precautions to prevent some of this stuff. And now with that said, we see people walking around all the time carrying their phones, looking like easy targets, and apparently nothing's happening. You know, carrying nice bags, carrying stuff from the Palacio de Hierro, a super nice department store, walking down the street, and they're not getting robbed. So it's not like you're walking down the street and people are getting held up at gunpoint all the time, or just everybody's getting pickpocketed.
Just looking for a super easy target.
It happened to us. I know it happened to Dan over at his over at the New Travel. So it does happen, but we do not want to deter people from coming to Mexico City. Almost every single video you have seen from us in Mexico City has happened after that incident, and I hope it's very apparent from those videos that we're extremely happy. None of you could have guessed or would have guessed that something was stolen from us. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I think at the beginning it shifted from, this is terrifying, I hope this doesn't happen again on day 2, to now it's like, I can't believe Greg walked around with open pockets.
Yeah, I think we thought we were being secure and having in our front pockets. Lesson learned, and hopefully this is a lesson learned for you guys as well. We definitely, again, we do not want to deter anybody from coming to Mexico City. This could happen, and the main takeaway to conclude all this could happen in New York City, Chicago, Philadelphia, Dallas. Pickpockets happen.
City in the world.
People get robbed, thefts happen. I think it would be very easy to let this happen and blame Mexico, blame Mexicans, revert back to bad rhetoric, revert back to bad stereotypes. That's the easy thing to do, but that requires zero thought, and it really is just incorrect.
It's against anything we
It's against exactly everything that we stand for, and Dan put it pretty well in his pickpocket video as well, that you know, like that day we had a great day, and it just happened to unfortunately end that way, and we've had an excellent trip since then.
We really haven't looked back either. I don't even feel like we were phased. I feel like the first day, but I think we've learned a lot of lessons, and we've learned how to better fit in here as Chilangos.
Yes, exactly.
And by eating tortas and tacos. So without cell phone pics.
Yes, so in conclusion, we still love Mexico. We will continue to love Mexico. An incident like this is not going to stop us from traveling Mexico, from exploring Mexico City. Yeah. And we want to encourage you to, 1, travel to Mexico City, 2, take some of the precautions we've talked about, and 2 and 3, I can't count. If something like this does happen to you, do not be quick to judge. That's in any situation in life, judging too quickly is probably not the correct decision. So just, whether it takes 1 day or almost a month like this video, just take a little time to reflect, collect your thoughts, and just put things in perspective and really know what's important in your life, because a lot of things that we happen to get mad or frustrated about are usually pretty minor. The
kindness of the people in Mexico City is it's incredible. You know, I thought when we were in Vallarta, people told us that the people there always had a small town feel and that everyone was so kind, and we sort of thought maybe this is a Vallarta thing. So when we came to Mexico City, we had no expectations in terms of the people that would be here or how we would be treated. But I think the people of the city have really gone above and beyond to treat us very kind. Other than the one person who took Greg's cell phone, that person was not very kind. But other than that, I think that everyone we've come in contact with has been just as kind as any other person we've ever met in Mexico. So I think that was a surprise that we really had no idea what to expect. So we would encourage you guys to come to Mexico City, wear a couple of pair of shorts, put your stuff in an inside pocket. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this is a sit-down sort of somber video, but we hope that it turned into more than that for you, and we hope that maybe we can help you guys to not let this happen to you.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. click the bell so you get notified
every time
we upload a new video, and you can head over to our Patreon page. We have a few goodies over there for our Patreons, and I feel like we've made it clear, and hopefully it's evident through our videos, we do not make our videos to make money, because it's not a very good strategy. But the more and nor do we make videos just to get views and subscribers, but hopefully we are building a community with you guys, building friendships, relationships with you guys, and hopefully we're showing off what Mexico is all about and dispelling bad myths about Mexico. All that to say, the bigger our community, the tighter our community, the more Patreons we have, is what I'm trying to say. The more we can travel, the more we can explore, and the more we can upgrade our camera gear so there's not this bad scratch on the lens.
Sitting on top of a suitcase.
Adios. Oh, yeah, let me show you. This was our tripod. Well, this camera's on a tripod sitting on that.
Adios.